Riveting Radio Real Estate from Don Pannell, from John L. Scott. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Jeff.
How are you?
I am great.
I got up on the screen here this morning. If you're watching the show live on YouTube, you can also go back and check it out throughout the day. But we've got some beautiful pictures from a new listing that you have. Tell me about this.
Gorgeous pictures. Yes, I was out on a sunny day last weekend and took these pictures, and you literally can see forever from this house. Yeah, it is gorgeous. It's just south of Holiday Beach, about 2 miles or so, mile and a half north of Hoodsport, right on the water. The deck is gorgeous. It's the full length of the house, and it's fairly new. It was just rebuilt not too long ago. House was built in 1980.
Okay.
So the deck was built just a couple years ago, and hangs out basically over the water. So you can see down and around and through and everywhere in this house. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, about a little over 1,000 square feet, and has a 1-car garage. And then it's got a fence across the front next to the road. And it's amazing how much sound that.
Does that do a good job?
It really does.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
When you're in the house, you can't hear anything.
Really?
Yeah, because it's got fairly new windows and things. So what you do is you pull up and you roll back the gate, and then you can pull in, and there's plenty of parking inside. There's 1-car garage, and then you can probably fit a couple more cars out in the driveway.
And the ease of access coming off and on the
there's
highway.
There's a pretty wide shoulder.
Okay.
So what I usually do is pull up on the shoulder and then get out and open the gate, and then either back in or pull in front ways to the house. And it's got a really nicely landscaped little front yard, which you don't expect at a beach house, but it's got that.
Yeah.
It's on a septic, and then it's got an 8-party well for water. It's a water company that supplies the water. But then about 8 or 9 steps down to the beach, and you're there. So, and the neat part about this one too is it comes fully furnished. It's older furniture, but you get everything from dishes to bedding to seats. And
does that happen a lot?
It does in cases like this where it's an estate. So a lot of people don't want to mess with moving everything out, so they just leave it all there. And so you even get a boat and 2 motors.
Whoa!
Yeah, a little rowboat and 2 motors. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And all of the rakes and shovels and lawnmowers and things like that. So I'm having an open house there this Saturday from 1 to 3. So if anybody's out and about up along the canal, stop in and see me. And it's listed for $360,000. Which is right at assessed value.
Okay,
so
pretty good then.
Yeah.
It says 75 feet of beach access, and then it goes out about 365 feet or so.
Right. So the tidelands are included, which is not that unusual, not that usual anymore. It's so they have that included, and the current owners actually leased that out to a shellfish grower. So there's that possibility too, that you can get a little money that way.
That's really nice. You can see the pictures here on the video. Also, we got the links through the John L. Scott page as well. Right. You have a guest in studio with us here this morning. I do.
We've been talking about flipping houses, so I thought I would bring my friend Mike Olsen, who is a professional flipper. He doesn't like to be called that, but that's what he is.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me in, Don.
So this is a pretty cool thing. We've been talking a lot about this. We watch these shows on TV, and we see people go, this looks easy. They can do this in a half an hour.
Right.
Not quite the case, right?
We were just talking before we came in that they always say, we can buy all new stainless steel appliances for $2,000, and we're going,
who are these people? Where?
Where?
Give me that number.
Yeah, they're pretty unrealistic shows. I've attempted to watch them a few times, but I can never make it through them. They're kind of misleading.
So you actually get involved and you do these flips, and what are the differences? What do they not show on TV that people need to know if they're going to do this?
Well, one, they don't show you how time-consuming they are and how much it really takes. I mean, they complete a flip in a half an hour, and my last one took me well over a year.
Wow.
It was a pretty substantially large house, and you needed everything. I had to strip it down to the studs and start all over. But it's not as easy as it looks, and it's you have to be prepared, and you have to have a lot of knowledge before you start, unless you just want to slap a coat of paint on it and rent it out or something, and that isn't the route that I've chose to go. So.
Right. Even within the same developers or the same... you go into a neighborhood and there's like 4 basic floor plans. Even with those similarities, each house is unique. Right.
Sure, it's how it's been treated and maintained over the years, and why it's, usually when I get these, they're a tax repo or a real estate repo, and there's no warranties, there's no guarantees, it's buyer beware, sight unseen kind of a deal, and you just kind of have to know what you're looking at before you start.
So have you bought houses either without going inside or not even seeing them before?
No, I've never done that. Usually there's a real estate sign, or you wander around the neighborhoods and you see the foreclosure papers on there, and you kind of look in the windows, or some of them are wide open. You can kind of sneak in and get around, or there will be a realtor, a contact realtor that can get you in there. So I've never bought one that I didn't get to at least inspect a little bit. Yeah.
Or you can always contact your favorite realtor to let you in.
Exactly. Don's helped me out on a couple of those.
There are always ways to get access to these things. They talk on those shows again about buying these things sight unseen. Boy, that's really risky. I don't know that I would recommend.
I don't think that happens here. I can't imagine anybody buying something because you see them peeking in the windows or something.
Right,
it's like, that's,
you got to get in more
risk.
than that.
Because these are often cash deals too for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not going to spend $100,000 no, I don't want to see it.
No, I don't want it. Yeah. So what I thought, Mike, it would be interesting too for you to talk about what you look for when you're looking at a house. There's lots of them on the market, and obviously some of them you're going to just say no, I'll pass.
Right.
But what are the things?
Well,
specifically?
a good example is the last one I looked at. It had been abandoned for a number of years, and you could tell the roof was leaking. And so the first thing I did was try to get under the house to see how structurally sound it was, and I backed right off because I could see dry rot and mold. So I didn't even want to touch that one. Somebody did. Somebody bought it. I don't know that the price was probably the driving factor for them. It was real cheap, but it needed a lot of work. So yeah, you have to really look at the structure of it, because a lot of them, it might be a good deal, but how good of a deal is it when you have to tear off all the trusses or something?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real crapshoot sometimes if you don't know what you're looking at. I have a lot of experience in the building trade, so I know where to look for issues that a lot of people may not if you're just in it to make money and do a quick turnaround. But the first thing is where it's located, the quality of the home, as it was originally built. I like the older homes because they were built real well, and I've had pretty good luck with at least providing myself a job. Sometimes there's not a lot of profit, but I enjoy saving them.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them that I've done recently like that, and it's fascinating. I love doing all the work. I get in there and just provide myself a job.
What are some of the unique things that we see from older homes that they just don't do anymore, or ways that you can tell that this is an older home, it was built, it has strong bones, versus maybe some of the quick fabs that we see these days? Well,
the quality of the wood, for one. I mean, when you look at a home that's 80 years old or older, versus a 20-year-old home, you can tell right away, because it'll last longer. A lot of times they didn't even use treated mud sills where it meets the foundation. And today it's a code to do that, but 50, 60, 80 years ago it wasn't. But they use such a good quality wood that it's somewhat impervious to moisture, and that's an important thing, because if you have a rotted sill, that's your foundation.
Yeah.
You can't build off that if it's no longer viable. So that's a big thing. It's just the quality of what the construction was.
Yeah. We've seen a couple where, I remember the one we went into that had it's like 12 by 12 beams underneath it, and they were obviously beefy wood beams. So you see those, you kind of go, if you're used to seeing 2x4s, you see that, you know that. And Mike's really good too of keeping the curved doorways and the wide moldings, those kinds of things that are triggers to what they did when the house was new, and he recreates them with newer materials, but still maintains that character.
Huh.
So.
Yeah, I like the historic ones. I think I got my first taste of that when I first moved here. I worked on what's now called the junior high apartments. It was the old junior high school built in the early 30s, and we restored that into an apartment building.
Yeah.
But I got the feel of liking to work with the older the older stuff. I mean, anybody can build up, new houses, but it's kind of not a lot of builders like doing this. I can't think of one offhand really that's doing it. Maybe I'm not that smart. I don't know, but I enjoy it. I really like the older structures, and I like saving them. And a lot of it is just a work of love. You like it, but you still try to make money.
Sure.
Right.
And it's a fine line.
Yeah.
You can get some pretty, even with my knowledge, I still get surprised.
Yeah.
Where I didn't count on that $10,000.
You open up the wall and surprise.
Yeah.
Wow, my goodness. So, Don, when you go and show people these houses and they say, oh, you're thinking about fixing this and fixing that, and Mike, is that something that you do out to help people,
sure.
or is it mostly just you working on stuff by
No, I still do remodels for folks, and kind of getting away from the new construction for other people. I'm getting a little older, but I still keep my hand in some remodels and stuff. It depends on how extensive they are, because I still like to work for myself rather than other people. So.
Yeah.
I have his card in my file. So if anybody asks me those things, I've got somebody who can do that. Yeah.
Well, Don, we've been talking about this great listing in Hoodsport that you'll be able to see on the website as well. But what is the website? What's the phone number to get people?
Phone number is 360-490-4493. Website is donpannell@johnlscott.com, or you can come see me at the corner of 3rd and Railroad at the John L. Scott office. And again, I always tell people, if I'm not there, they'll know where I am.
For sure.
I'd be happy to show you some of these. And Mike's got one right now that he just redid, and that I would love to show somebody and help them buy it.
Is it ready to go? Where is it at? What's?
This is actually the first house built on Angleside.
Whoa!
It's the one we showed.
Yeah.
It's the one we showed a couple about a month ago now.
Yeah, it's just up off of 7th Street between Grant and Harvard. You've probably driven by it a million times and never noticed it because it's kind of set back into the trees there.
Nice.
It was a big one. That was almost 3,000 square feet, and a lot of surprises on that one.
Yeah, but it's very, very cool. Like I say, I would love to show somebody that house and have them buy it and enjoy it the way it was meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
So.
Very nice. Well, Mike, good to see you. Good talking with you.
Thank you.
Don, as always, it's nice talking with you during these conversations we have.